Welcome back to the Power to the Ground podcast on the Power to the Ground Motorsports Media Network. We're changing stuff around. This is episode 66. Today we're going to take a look ahead at Supercross Round 13 in Atlanta tomorrow. Racing is back. I know everybody's excited about it. It feels like a year ago was the last race, but I know that I'm just being dramatic about that, but we'll get into that. For those of you watching this live, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. If there are any topics that you want me to cover or any questions that you have, drop it in the comments and I will go through them at the end of the show. But before we get into that, let's do some shout outs. BroTacoFoods.com. Now, I know I have an order of Brap sauce coming in. If you are not familiar with Bro Taco Foods, it is some of the most scrumptious hot sauces that you could possibly imagine. Very unique flavors, so well done. Our buddy over at Bro Tacos, Sean, is giving us 20% off for our listeners and viewers. So if you want to try out some of this delicious, delicious hot sauce, including the Brap sauce, which is, you'll find the PTTG logo on there. You can use coupon code PTTG at brotacofoods.com for 20% off. That is 20% off. Also, you know what would help? Let me throw that up there. You guys can take a look and you can visualize what that link looks like, that brotacofoods.com, and you can envision yourself that bottle of Bro Taco hot sauce and pouring it over some nice tacos on a Taco Tuesday, or pizza as Doug loves to do it on. Doug puts hot sauce on pizza. I'm pretty sure he's the only person that I know that does that, but hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing, man. Do you. Also, SUNSTAR, Sprockets and Chains. If you guys have some, I know it's springtime and you've probably got some work to do on your bike before you get there and hit the track or hit the trails. If you need some chains, sprockets, brakes, all that stuff, jump over to sunstar.com. Hit up the email support, mention anything about Power to the Ground in that email, and Doug will hook you up. He has got you. We got you. We want to see you out there on the track with your bike in tip-top condition so that you can have the greatest day. And hey, if you happen to take any video and you guys want us to feature it on the Facebook page, or if it's something really cool like some drone footage or something like that, and you want us to throw it up on the YouTube channel, send it our way. Head over to power2theground.com and you can hit us up in the chat if you've got some fun stuff that you want to share with us over there. Or if you like what we're doing over here, head over to the store on the website, grab yourself some merch. We are developing some new things here at Power to the Ground. I'm sure you've noticed that I'm on here on a Friday, and Doug and Tiller were on the show last night. So if you like what we're doing over here and you want to see what's next, jump over to the website, grab yourself a t-shirt, grab yourself a sweatshirt, grab yourself a hat, grab yourself a mask. We got a bunch of stuff over there. Go grab yourself something. Every dollar that we make over there goes right back into this whole operation that we've got going on there, for producing the shows, making sure the website is up to date, putting new stuff on the website, new content, ads, and everything else that keeps this thing moving. So if you like it, jump over, grab yourself some stuff, and help this thing keep going. So as far as new stuff goes, if you were around on Facebook last night, you probably saw that Doug and Tiller were on here at 7 o'clock. They went live. I watched a little bit of it. I was jumping in and out because I have a college class that I'm taking on Thursday nights. So, Doug and Tiller are actually going to have their own show here on Power to the Ground, and that will now be on Mondays at 6:30 p.m. EST. And that will be available on Tuesday mornings on audio for those of you who are listening to this after the fact. And this show will continue to be on Fridays at noon EST, and the audio will be available on Saturday mornings for you podcast listeners to listen to afterwards. Possibly more shows coming on. I'm definitely going to have I'm going to try to score some guests to get on this podcast or this show, depending on if you're listening or watching, with me to talk about Supercross and whatever else comes up. We're trying to diversify the types of content that we have here on the Power to the Ground Motorsports Media Network, so that everybody's got a little bit of everything. And I've got a whole stack of new equipment behind me on the casting couch that I need to inventory. Some of it will be used for this podcast. There's some new cameras, some new lights, some new broadcast switchers, all kinds of new stuff. So the what you're watching here right now is my webcam, and the next podcast next week should have some of this new stuff incorporated into it. So fun and exciting stuff happening with that. Again, if there are any topics that you guys want me to cover, any questions that you have, if you just want to shout somebody out, whatever it is, drop it in the comment section, and I will get to those at the end of the show. So let's jump into this episode. Let's talk about some Supercross Round 13 at Atlanta. I am going to throw the track map up there. Let me pull it up here so we can take a look at that and see what we got going on. Let's get it going. Right back into the next lap. This looks like it's going to be a fun track. It's definitely going to be fast. It's going to be very fast. That video that they showed, I think it was 1 minute and 14 seconds. There's no way that these guys are going to take that long to run these laps. I'm thinking 105 at the max for the faster riders. If you're familiar, like I said during that video, if you're familiar with Daytona, this is very, very similar to a Daytona track. So we will get into what that might mean for the 250s and the 450s after we go through the 250 injuries. Real quick, there are a couple of updates in here. I'll just go through the whole list that they have. So we've got Dakota Alex, his back injury, he's out. Pierce Brown, hand injury, he had surgery, he's going to be in. I'm glad to see him giving it the old college try. I like watching Pierce Brown race. He's a fun rider. Sean Cantrell, collarbone, he is in. Brighton Carroll, big injuries, out. Martin Costello, hand out. Joey Crown, head out. Derek Drake, femur out. Mitchell Falk, leg out. Bryson Gardner, out. Mason Gonzalez, out. Alex Martin and Jeremy Martin, both out. Styles Robertson is in. Dylan Schwartz in. Jordan Smith, out. And Justin Thompson, out. So that is your injury report for the 250 West. And we've still got a couple more weeks of the 250 West. I think East picks back up in Salt Lake. Yeah, East picks back up in Salt Lake. So that is the extent of your injury report for the 250s for this week. So let's jump into the points, because it's pretty tight in this battle on this side of the 250s. We've got Justin Cooper sitting in the number 1 spot with 108 points. Cameron McAdoo sitting in the number 2 spot with 106 points. Hunter Lawrence sitting in the number 3 spot with 102 points. Jalik Swoll with 93. Garrett Marchbanks also with 93. Seth Hamaker 88, and then it drops off pretty dramatically after that. So you've got your top 6 within 20 points of each other. That I would say that is a pretty tight race here. Now, as far as who this track is going to favor, I'm going to go ahead and say that there is not much about this track that I think is going to favor Justin Cooper. I think going out on a limb here, I would be very surprised if Cooper takes a podium in this, especially with a break. Cooper, to me, tends to be a very momentum rider, and because there was a break, obviously the momentum is gone. So I'd be very surprised if we see him up on any of the steps for this race, especially considering how fast it is. I think he's going to have his hands full with McAdoo, Lawrence, and Marchbanks, actually. So let's see. For predictions, I'm going to give a toss-up between, I think the top 3 is going to be, in some order, McAdoo, Lawrence, and Marchbanks. I think Cooper is going to fall to that number 4 spot, and then everybody else. Who do I give the edge to? I think I'm going to give the edge to McAdoo. Just because this is so fast, and McAdoo is such an attack rider. I'm going to give the edge to McAdoo on this one, because I think he's going to push everybody else on this. So I'll go with McAdoo, Lawrence, Marchbanks, and then Cooper in a number 4 spot, maybe just outside of that top 3. Or I could see him dropping a little bit, because like I said, he's a momentum rider, and there are some times when he pushes through the pack, but I don't see it very often. So that's my predictions for the 250. Again, have any questions, comments, anything that you want me to cover, go ahead and drop them in the comment section, and I will get to those at the end of the show. If there's any shout outs or anything that you want to throw out there, we will get it. We will get it. So let's jump over to the 450s. We'll jump into the injuries here. Starting with, I'll go through the whole list again. I guess that worked pretty well. There are some updates. Some stuff is, I'm not even going to say there are really any surprises on here. Most of it is pretty to be expected. And I think a lot of these guys who are announcing that they're just done with the Supercross season, I really think they're good decisions for those riders individually. And also on top of that, I think that is going to spell great things for the outdoor season. Because I have a lot of riders who are banged up right now that will be nice and fresh going into the outdoors. So starting at the top of the list, we've got Benny Bloss. He is in Justin Bogle, he is in. Justin Brayton, he is out. Cianciarulo, obviously, he is out for the season. We'll see him hopefully in the outdoors kickoff. Adam Enticknap is in. Grant Harlan is out. Shane McElrath is out. Marv should honestly just he's to be determined. They're playing it by ear right now, but I think they should just make the call and give it a rest for the indoor season. Let them take to the track nice and fresh for the outdoor season, but we'll see how that works out. Zacho is out. Austin Politelli is out, and Carter Stevenson is out. That is the extent of your injury report. So we actually, for the most part, have a pretty fresh field. There are a couple of, contenders that I would like to see in there, but I'd rather them wait until outdoor season so that they can come back fresh. Because none of them are contenders at this point anyways. It's really, I guess it would just be getting seat time and some race time. So jumping into the point standings going into round 13 in Atlanta, we have Cooper Webb in the number 1 spot with that red plate, 275 points. We have K-Rock in the number 2 spot with 260 points, 15 points down. Eli in the number 3 spot, 234 points. Barsha in the number 4 spot, 214. And then Aaron Plessinger in the number 5 spot with 183. Malcolm Stewart in the number 6 spot with 179. Jason Anderson in the number 7 spot with 171. And Ferrandis in the 8 spot with 153. And it's a pretty steep drop off after that. Not that none of those, there is a pretty steep drop off from point to point here, but there are some moves that could be made. We've got Plessinger in the 5 through 7 slots there. We have 183 to 171 with Plessinger, Stewart, and Anderson. There could be some movement in there, and I wouldn't be surprised because those 3 guys, they're bouncing around all over the place. Tiller might have something to say about that with stat breakdown, which actually that would be pretty cool to see a stat breakdown or predictions to see if there might be any movement in that 5 to 7 range, based on where they've placed so far in this season. I don't think Barsha is going to be making any moves towards Eli. Eli is, he lost a lot of ground earlier in the season, which is unfortunate because this Atlanta trifecta here, 3 rounds in a Daytona-like track within a 1-week span. This could have made Tomac's entire season if he hadn't lost so many points earlier on. Because that 260 to 234, that's a 26-point difference. K-Rock's going to have to screw up big time for Eli to close that gap on the number 2 spot. But Cooper and K-Rock would have to screw up big time. I will not be surprised if Tomac sweeps Atlanta entirely. This is his type of track. That would not surprise one little bit. So predictions for this weekend. We got Atlanta 1, and we saw that track map. It's very Daytona-like. It's going to be fast. There's a sand section in it. This is Eli's track. I'm putting Eli in the number 1 spot. I'd be very surprised if I saw any pick'ems out there that have anything but Eli in the number 1 spot. But hey, you can't win if you're picking the same riders as everybody else. That's just a tie. Speaking of pick'ems, we'll get to that afterwards. So I'm going to put Eli in the number 1 spot. I'm going to put Cooper in the number 2 spot. I'm going to put I'm not going to put K-Rock in my top 3. I'm going to put Anderson in the number 3 spot. So Tomac, Cooper, Anderson. I think Eli and Cooper will probably be pretty close to one another, and a distant third will be Anderson, probably just edging out K-Rock. Just the momentum for Kenny is just it's gone, man. This is a do or die weekend for him. This is a do or die week for him. He's got to get it moving if he's going to have any chance. And if he's going to get it moving, I'm not even going to say it's a week. This round right here, if Kenny loses this round, or if Kenny doesn't take number 1 in this round, the championship's over. Donezo. Because he's got to reverse his momentum right now, or it's not going to happen. So those are your predictions for the 450 in Atlanta 1, round 13 of the 2021 Supercross season. One more time, if you guys have anything that you want me to cover at the end of the show, any questions, comments, shout outs, anything like that, go ahead, drop it in the comments section. And we will get to those at the end of the show. Pick'ems. Let's talk about pick'ems here for a second. So it is getting down to the wire. And I think Doug had the pick'ems leaders here. So the pick'ems trophy is, I just got an email. It is out for delivery. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. So I will have it in my hands, ready to show you guys what it looks like as of tomorrow. So keep a lookout on social media. If you're on the Discord, it'll definitely be on there. If you're not on the Discord, jump over to the Facebook page. There's a post on there, or just hit us up on the website on the chat if you want a invite link to the Discord. We're having a lot of fun over there. We're talking about Supercross. We're talking about moto camping, adventure riding, cooking, amateur racing, all kinds of stuff going on in the Discord. So if you are into racing or riding dirt bike or riding off-road stuff, anything like that, and you want people to talk about that kind of stuff with, hit us up on Discord. It's a great place to be. And keep a lookout for the trophy for the pick'ems, is you've got your leaders right here, Cole, Doug, and Austin. Now, all tied with 107 points, and I know that it's not a big bounce down to the next couple that are tied after that. So it's coming down to the wire here. So if you were interested in seeing what that trophy looks like, it'll be out there tomorrow. That's thanks for hanging out. Let's jump into the chats here. Smoker McIntyre, looks like Tomac could dominate. I absolutely agree, Smoker. That is that I think that's going to happen. Just flat out, that's what's going to happen. Let's see. The track is just it's like Tomac's wet dream. This is I really don't have any questions in my mind. What is happening? Who parties at noon on Fridays? We do. That is absolutely correct, Austin. Absolutely correct. That is Tiller and Doug. Damn straight. Those are your Doug and Tiller, host of the Doug and Tiller show. I think I had an idea. Down and Dirty with Doug and Tiller. So, question mark? Down and Dirty with Doug and Tiller. D&D with DNT. Hopefully not on DMT. Ha ha ha. Doug. All right, Doug. Yeah, 4 through 5 are tied with 106 points. Man, it's a tight race. Anybody could come out with that trophy. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with the pick'ems if we have a tie in the number 1 spot. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I don't know. Maybe we'll have like a Hollywood Squares style showdown with the winners to see who gets that top spot. And that is all we got for the chats. I know this is a little bit weird because it's noon on a Friday, but hey, we'll see what happens. For those of you listening, thanks for listening. Hit that subscribe button or the follow button if you're on Spotify. Give us a review if you are listening on iTunes. Helps big time. It really, really helps us out a lot to find new listeners. If you are watching this on either Facebook or YouTube after the fact, please drop a comment, hit that thumbs up button, and hit that follow and subscribe button on whichever platform that you are on. Those also help us out immensely finding new listeners and new viewers to help to keep this thing going. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Friday afternoon going into Atlanta 1 with some new racing. Oh man, everybody's just so excited for it. I can't speak for everybody. I'm so excited for it. Don't forget to share this episode with someone, and please consider heading over to power2theground.com. Let me throw that up for you. And grab yourself some merch to help this thing keep growing. We've got a lot of new stuff coming up on the website, so check back on the website to see what else is going on. And that is it for episode 66. Wow, 66. It's going. That's it for episode 66. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy the races, and I will see you next week. Peace.